I have been on the struggle bus with some of these items. Others were a joy to use. Let's talk about it. This is my Project 3 Uses update for the month of May. I do this with my friend Cici over at Panning for Goals, and I'll have her linked below. Hi, I'm Andi. I'm really happy that you're here. Let's get into these things. Let's talk about this. What's been in here the longest? The ABH Nouveau. I had thoughts of this the last update, and my thoughts still remain. I think it's just old because I am not enjoying using it. It is blending away to nothing, which then I have to pack more on. You guys, I've only used it twice, and I'm decluttering it. I don't need to use it the third time. I know whether or not I'm going to like it. It shouldn't be that hard to get something to work. Life is too short to wear makeup you don't like. I'm decluttering it. I just don't. If I put something on my outer corner and I'm blending it out, I want it to blend nicely. I want it to stay. I don't want to have to keep packing it on. I don't have time for that. I have eyeshadow palettes I've had more than 5 years that still work perfectly. But this is sadly getting decluttered from my collection. The other thing that has been in here since March is the Cover Effects. This is a cream foundation in the shade L2. You can see that there's quite a dip in there. I did not use this as a foundation. It was a little too thick for me and it looked cakey. I had only used it once as of the last update, but I used this with a concealer brush and I used it to cover imperfections on my face because it does have quite a bit of coverage. I loved it. I used it 15 times. 15 additional times, so 16 uses altogether in this 3-use project. Loved it. It is staying. Okay, everything else was brought in last update. I had the Essence Jelly Grip Primer. It is a hydrating primer, but it is a gripping primer. I was not sure if I am a gripping primer kind of girl. I do like a hydrating primer, but I didn't know if I was going to love this. I don't love this. It's not my favorite. But when I brought this in last month, I had a couple of you tell me how you use a gripping primer, give me ideas. I used those ideas and I actually liked how it worked. What I did was I mixed the Jelly Grip Primer with my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This is not really a blurring primer, but it just gives a nice finish on the skin. There's a reason why this is so damn expensive because it's so good. I was gifted this. I did not buy this, but I mixed these two together. It worked great. Problem is, this is not in this project, but I'm telling you, this is almost gone. I can't get any more out of the pump. However, when I opened it up, there's still quite a bit on the wand, not the wand, the stick here. And I can see that there's some at the bottom. So I will be trying really hard to get that out of here. Or I'll just, take the lid off and get as much out as I can because I really do love this primer. But I mixed the two together and it was lovely. I liked how it worked. And so thank you guys for that. And so that is staying into my collection. It's the only gripping primer that I have. I do have another primer that's kind of grippy, but it's more just hydrating. Don't love it. It'll probably be better in the summer. I don't know, you guys. But anyway, I used it like 6 or 7 times the way mixed with the Tatcha. So yes, that is staying. Another thing that was brought in last time was the MCO. This is the Glow Up pH Powder Blush in the shade Rosy Pink. And it is a bright, beautiful pink. And you guys, I really loved this. This was gifted to me by someone who decluttered it, and I wanted to try it. I had never tried anything from MCO Beauty prior to that. I know some people don't love them because they are a dupe brand. I don't care about that. If you're going to give me something that's lovely for a fraction of the price, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So I did like this a lot. My question was, I have a couple of blushes this shade. Do I need that many blushes this shade? Which is why I brought this in the first place. I do actually. I ended up using this. I stopped counting at 5 for my 3-use project. So I really did like this, but I know I used it a couple more times and just didn't track it because I had fulfilled my goal for the project. Next up, also in last month, this is the Lucky Chick Mystic Halo Face Palette. And this was so nice. Andi from Makeup and the Mundane commented on my last video that she had just done a video on this, comparing it to the Hourglass face palette or face powders, face products. And I don't know about that because I have an Hourglass, but I haven't used it very much. But I do really love this. I know that I didn't track each time. I just tracked the uses as a whole, and 8. I used it 8 times, but I used this bronzer, I know, like 4 or 5 times. This blush right here is so pretty. Loved it. I also used this, actually, I have this on my face today, this one right here. I didn't use the Aura. I didn't use this. This is like a bronze lighter, or it's a little deep to be a highlighter, but it is very, very pretty. And I enjoyed this palette very much. So this is definitely, I don't know why I still have that. This is definitely staying in my collection. This was gifted to me from my friend Gigi, gave me that. And then finally brought in last time is the Urban Decay Prince palette. My thing with this is this going to be something that I keep for packaging up on my shelf, my memory shelf? Is this going to be something that I keep for packaging, or is this something that I'm going to keep in my collection as an eyeshadow palette? Well, I don't know, you guys, because I haven't used it. And I'm going to keep it in because I do want to get my 3 uses. I do want to form an opinion on this because if I don't like it as an eyeshadow palette, it will stay with me forever because I love Prince so very much. One of the best concerts I've ever been to, but I've always been a Prince fan since the very beginning, since Little Red Corvette. And so yes, I'm going to keep this in, get my 3 uses out of it, and then form my opinion. Because I'm leaving in the Prince palette, I'm only bringing in 5 products this time, but I have all 5 products here. So the first thing I'm going to bring in is the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder. Now this is an old powder. I've had this for a very long time. You can actually see the rings on it. The problem is, the reason I'm bringing it in is because I haven't used it in a very long time. I'm more of a loose powder person than a pressed powder person. Other than the Laura Geller powders, I love those. But the last time I used it, which has been quite a while, I remembered it being a little chalky. Now I have way too many powders to keep this as is in my collection. So I'm going to use it the 3 times, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Am I going to keep it as a pressed powder? Even though you can see the rings, there's still a ton of powder in here. Am I going to grind this up and use it as a loose powder? Mix it in with my other Maybelline Fit Me loose powder? Or am I going to mix it in with something else? Or what am I going to do? I don't know. So I'm going to use it as is to see what I think. So the next product is a little different. It's a little different, you guys. This is not the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This was an empty bottle. I finished the e.l.f. Halo Glow at the beginning of the year. I made my own. I used some tinted moisturizers. I used some bronzer drops. I used some glow drops. I used a bunch of different things. I want to see if I like it. If I just did all of that work for nothing, or if it's going to be something that I'm going to love. So I'm going to bring that in. I have 2 lip liners. I have the Sashow lip liner stain. This is in the shade 03 Pinked. It's P-inked. Now, I didn't pay anything for this. At work, we have this continuing education, I don't work there anymore. And the more you did, the more points you got. Well, if you were in the top 3, you got to pick from this catalog. Well, I immediately went to the beauty products, and they had this as one of the choices. So I've never even tried it. That is what it looks like when you put it on. But like I said, it's a stain. But it's a lip liner stain, which is really weird to me, you guys. It's really strange to me. So I'm going to wipe it off. And that is the shade that we're left with, which is a shade that I like. I know a lot of people just use it all over their lips. The liner stain, they use it all over their lips. I've been very curious about the new NYX one. I don't need any more liners, you guys. So I'm going to try that, see what I think of it. I didn't pay anything for it, so if I don't like it, no big deal. But I think I like that shade. The other liner is by Bisha. And honestly, I don't remember where I got this. But it is a very creamy, that's what it looks like right there. But it's very, very creamy. Now, is it too creamy? Is it going to wipe right off of my lips? I don't know. So I'm going to try that because I have so many lip liners this shade. Do I need this? Do I need this? I don't even remember where I got it. It might have been a box. I don't remember. But yeah, I'm trying to go through my lip liners. I had asked on a video, I can't remember what it was, maybe my Shop My Stash. I had asked if you guys want to watch me go through my lip liners and figure out what I want to keep and what I don't. A lot of people said yes. I still haven't done that. So I'm going to try this one though and see what I think. And then lastly, of course, I'm bringing in another palette, even though I still have the prints in here. I think there are shades in this that will work well with the prints. I can use them together and see what I think. This is the Juvia's Place Magic Mini, and I was all about it. I have used it over the last few years a few times, but this has been on my chopping block for a while, and I can't bring myself to declutter it because it is so very pretty, and these shimmers are just beautiful. So I did declutter quite a few colorful palettes. Kay over at Makeup Lens, every time she uses this, it makes me want to bust it out, and I never do. So I think that it's got this really dark purple outer corner, which is something that this Prince palette does not have. Come on. Which is something that the Prince palette does not have. And I think that I can wear these two together and it'll give me a little bit better idea. These blues here, there's a dark blue right here, and then this light blue. So I think that I was going to bring in a different palette, but I think this is a good palette to bring in now. It'll be good for spring, even though spring is almost over. I'm gonna try it. Plus, you guys, I have some blue eyeshadows that are in my 50 Shades of Blue. I just have to use each one of these once. 50 Shades of Blue I'm doing on Instagram only. I'm not doing it as a dedicated video. But maybe that dark blue. We'll see if that is a beautiful dark blue. We'll see if it's an amazing dark blue. If so, bonus, because I only have a couple of palettes that have amazing dark blues in them. Dark blues are very hard to blend. So those are all of the products that I'm bringing in for the month of May. Let me know, are you doing a usage goal project? How are you doing? Don't forget to go check out Cici and see how she's doing on her project 3 uses. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.